Oops. Oh my God. Moscow is drowning. Moscow is sinking. Moscow is doing that? No, it's a major destroyer, the flagship for the Russian fleets. Somehow or other, the major ship, the most powerful ship in the navy of the Russians, has sunk. A Neptune missile, the Ukrainians say, got them where it counts. And this is a very rugged, very powerful weapon called the Moskva, which is named after Moscow. The major flagship of the Russians has been sunk by these lowly Ukrainians, have the gall to blow up this ship that was cutting off, bringing soldiers to the southern border around Odessa in that vicinity in the Black Sea. And this is the same ship that went in front of the fishermen and ordered them to get on board and be arrested. And they told them to F you. Well, you know what FU means. And that was the Ukrainians telling the Russians that. And now, guess who got FU'd? The Moscow, the flagship of Russia, the powerful Russian Navy. Very curious. One of the things that people don't realize, and I wasn't fully aware of it, it turns out Ukraine is a major inventor and manufacturer of weapons in the world. And Russia was the main recipient. And the Ukrainians used to ship all their weapons to Russia that they invented and or created. And so now we're discovering they can use those pretty effectively. They know how to make them again and again and again. And guess what they're doing? Just that. It's going to worry a few people. The big fight in Ukraine is going to happen. It's going to get heavier and more deadly. But, well, we've seen Boris Johnson go as the prime minister of Great Britain go to Ukraine, and Zelensky met him and walking in Kyiv, in the capital. It's pronounced Kyiv, I'm sorry, not Kyiv. Anyway, and I believe that Mr. Biden, President Biden, will do the same thing. He's really decided the immorality of Russia, particularly Mr. Putin, is too deep and bad and broad. And letting somebody just think they can do all of what they want to do is just not going to work. I mean, after all, Stalingrad is still a memory of the Russians and how they starved the Germans into submission. For 2 years, they were stuck in Stalingrad during World War II and literally froze to death. And the Russians waited them out, they themselves suffering severely. They were themselves bloodied raw and beaten down, and they survived. And the Ukrainians are doing it to the Russians the same way. Wow. Anyway, so with all these things happening in this international thing, domestically, what's happening locally? Well, the Republicans are going to win in a sweep in 2022. It's unquestionable, but maybe not. McConnell said, yeah, we look promising. We look likely to win unless we screw it up, or unless, guess who, the former president screws it up. He's nominated or endorsed 133 different candidates, many of whom are destined to lose. And Herschel Walker was endorsed and to run for Senate in Georgia. Well, he's got a lot of problems personally. They're coming out. He might withdraw. So a lot of the people, without saying too many more, there's a few more, are going to try to run again. Warnock case, that is the Senate in Georgia. If you remember, Warnock was one of the guys that there's a minister who won in the last minute against Loeffler in Georgia. You may not remember these names, but so a couple of Democrats won and made the Democrats have a bare majority, like one vote. That is the vice president's vote. But the predictions of a wipeout of the Democrats is maybe a little bit premature. Hard to know. Could be that way, but might not be. And there's strong belief among Republicans that the poison in the well is Mr. Trump himself and who he endorses. He sabotages the Republicans and acts like a Democrat within the Republican Party. What an irony. What a curious irony. Talk about ironies. Don't say gay. As in the previous show, I mentioned that. I think a write in candidate for the Republicans in the state of Florida for governor might just be Mickey Mouse. And Mickey will be seen and advertised with a skirt on because he always liked skirts. He says, I'm really Scotch. I'm really Scotch, Irish, and Scotch have those kilts. You know, there's men wearing skirts, but they're not gay. So don't say gay. DeSantis will say, I'm running against a mouse, Mickey Mouse, or is it Minnie Mouse with a skirt on? I'm a little confused. Yes, Mr. DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, you are confused. You're attacking the biggest employer in all of Florida. Just don't say Mickey Mouse.